Most people think you need thousands of dollars and a financial advisor to start investing. I started with $100 and used AI to make every single decision. Here's exactly what happened and what I learned. But first, the one thing most investing content never tells beginners. The amount you start with matters far less than the habit of starting. $100 invested consistently every month for 10 years beats $1,000 invested once and forgotten. The math is not even close. AI helped me understand that before I made a single trade. Here's how I used Claude to build my entire investing framework from scratch. The first thing I did was ask Claude to explain the difference between the main investing options available to a beginner with $100. Index funds, ETFs, individual stocks, crypto. I didn't want a Wikipedia summary. I wanted a plain English explanation of what each one actually means for someone starting with almost nothing. The output was better than anything I found after an hour of Googling. Claude broke down each option by risk level, time horizon, and minimum investment required. It explained why index funds consistently outperform most actively managed funds over a 10-year period. It told me what expense ratios are and why they matter more than most beginners realize. In about 5 minutes, I had a clearer picture of my options than I'd had after weeks of reading finance articles. Based on that research, I made my first decision. I was going to put my $100 into a low-cost index fund tracking the S&P 500. Not because it was exciting, because the data Claude surfaced made it the most rational choice for a beginner with a long time horizon and no tolerance for losing money they can't afford to lose. The second thing I used AI for was understanding risk. Most beginners skip this step entirely. They see a stock going up and buy it. They see crypto headlines and get excited. They have no framework for deciding how much risk is appropriate for their specific situation. I asked Claude to help me build a personal risk profile. I told it my age, my monthly income, my existing expenses, and how I would feel if my investment dropped 50% in value. Claude used those inputs to recommend an asset allocation, the percentage of my portfolio that should be in different types of investments based on my specific situation. That conversation took 10 minutes. A financial advisor would charge hundreds of dollars for the same output. The third thing I used AI for was building a monthly investing habit. $100 is not a life-changing investment, but $100 every month for 5 years is $6,000 plus compounding returns. I asked Claude to show me what consistent monthly investing looks like over different time periods at different return rates. The numbers it produced were genuinely motivating in a way that abstract financial advice never is. Seeing the specific projection, what my money could look like at year 5, year 10, year 20, made the habit feel worth building. That clarity is what most beginner investors never get. Here is the honest verdict after 30 days of investing with AI as my guide. I did get rich. My $100 is now worth slightly more or slightly less depending on the day. That's how markets work, and AI helped me understand that volatility is normal and not a reason to panic. What I did get was a framework. A clear understanding of what I'm invested in and why. A monthly habit that compounds over time. And the ability to make financial decisions based on research rather than emotion or headlines. AI does not replace a licensed financial advisor for complex situations. But for a complete beginner trying to understand the basics and make their first rational investing decision, it is the most accessible and affordable research tool available. Start with $100. Use Claude to understand your options. Pick the lowest cost index fund available on your platform. Set up a monthly automatic contribution. Then leave it alone. That is the entire strategy. Simple works. If you want the free resource I use to track all my tools and systems, grab it in the description. Everything is linked there. Subscribe to this channel because every week I cover the exact systems and tools I use to build real income and make smarter financial decisions using AI. No jargon, no hype, just what actually works. The next video is one I get asked about constantly: how to make money with AI when you have zero experience and zero audience. That breakdown is next.